Hello. Hi. So, I remembered that I had this Bluetooth headset, beep, boop, beep, boop, boop. and I couldn't remember how to connect it. And then I remembered that the little blue and the little red, they have to flash alternately, and then your phone will see it. And then, so now, hopefully, I sound much better. And yeah. Anyway, so I'm still in Puerto Rico, and I will be for a few more days. My fingers are crossed that some money is coming through from a dear friend, just as like a stopgap, because I'm working, but I ran out of money. And it wasn't because I wasn't being very frugal; it was because I run out of money. And I know that I'm almost 50 and maybe I should have a bunch of credit cards, but to be honest with you, if I had a bunch of credit cards, I'd have a bunch of debt. it's not for a lack of maybe, well, I guess it is for a lack of working, but not in, I love to work, but I love to work at what I love to do. I don't know. I don't have any reasoning. I don't have any excuses. I've had a few careers in my life, and I am doing really good stuff right now. Like I said, I'm a copywriter, and I'm taking multiple exam certificates for SEO. So if you have any SEO work, you want me to audit your website, or figure out how we can get you to rank for certain keywords, I would love to help, because that's exactly what I'm studying. And I think I showed you yesterday, but I'll show you again today. Here's my book. So, writing something that I do. I taught the highest level of Cambridge English and spent a decade in Europe. So anyway, I'm supposed to be going to. I'm shuffling tarot cards just to keep my hands busy as I'm talking to you. But I'm supposed to be going to Medellin, Colombia, and I'm really excited about this because I wanted to go to Medellin for a long time. And it'll cost me literally half of what Puerto Rico does. It's not that Puerto Rico is expensive, but I wanted this video to be just about my impressions, okay? Because I've been here, I'd say a month and a half now, and to be fair, I haven't traveled around the island. One day I did walk 10 miles to the beach and back. And I was raised in Hawaii, so I wanted to let you know, and I was really curious because when I landed here, I noticed that like the plant, the foliage, the flowers, everything was, they're like bougainvillea and these ferns and everything, and it was, in the air, everything felt just like Hawaii. So I looked it up on the computer. I went, beep, boop, beep, boop, boop. That's when I still had internet here. And the computer said that the longitude of Hawaii and Puerto Rico are almost exactly the same. So this is where I'm definitely going to buy a house after I'm done traveling around the world again and again and again. So I'm going to be 50 on Valentine's Day. Yeah. And I don't know. I don't have any debt. I don't have any dependents. I don't have any alimony payments. And I love to travel, and I love cultures. So, my impressions. Okay, Puerto Rico, the food stuff. You go and buy some food from the supermarket. It was not nearly as inexpensive as I thought it might be. If you go to expatistan.com, you can do cost of living comparisons between countries and regions, and this is a territory of the U.S. So it's so anyway, it'd be cheaper to live here overall. That's true than what, Miami? Yeah, I think it's like 12% cheaper than living in Austin. Yeah. But, and I haven't been to the countryside, like I said, but when I went into a big supermarket, there was one kind of tomato, and it came from the U.S. so I can't get those little flavorful Roma tomatoes. And I bought, an inexpensive carton of eggs, and they're all from the U.S. So Puerto Rico doesn't make its own eggs, or the Puerto Rican chickens don't make their own eggs. So it's cheaper to send eggs here. I thought that was confusing. Okay, but the rents, if you wanted to rent a house here, you can have a nice, cute little bungalow here in San Juan for $600 a month. I could do that. I could make that happen. I wouldn't live in San Juan. Well, that's not necessarily true, because there's a strip that comes down from old San Juan, and it's touristy. I've never been to Miami, but it kind of reminds me of like a mini Miami. It's not as obnoxious as Haight Street in San Francisco, and there's more bikinis. The beach, the water, feels just like Hawaii. I mean, it makes me feel like a kid. It's just luscious. So I live here for that. But I live on, people think that Puerto Rico's maybe flat. No, it goes up to 5,000 feet, I believe. Excuse me. Something like 5,000 feet. I would buy a house 30 minutes from the beach that was at about 3,000 feet. So it'd be very green and foliage and very simple. I like it. It's simple. It's not the houses is if you like see this window right here, there's no screens here. They're metal velours, which is interesting. In Hawaii, they were glass velours, but we had screens. Here, there's no screens. And in my closet, right over there, I have like a whole colony of little mosquitoes that live within the shirts that I have hanging up. And so I take the COVID alcohol spray that came with this Airbnb, and every once in a while I go in there and I try and get them drunk so I can kill them. It doesn't work well. They live there. I don't know why they're living in my shirts. It sucks. It might be because one of my shirts was sweaty when I did that 10-mile walk, and so maybe they're sucking the salt off of the shirt. Anyway, so the food, I was hoping for better prices on produce. The avocados look fantastic. I mean, not that big. They're this big, the avocados, but they're shaped to be shaped like an avocado. They're this big. The avocados are this big. That's nice. They're $2. So maybe in Austin, that would be $3 worth of avocado meat. Here they're $2. It doesn't make me not want to live here. I want to live here because of the weather. I like Latin culture. I like speaking Spanish. And I really, really like the beach. It's not just like I want to live on a beach. I want to live at this latitude because it makes me feel like I was a kid. Every day after school when I was a little boy, I would go to the beach. Sometimes I went to school with no shoes on, no slippers. I'd go to school barefoot. And then I'd go to the beach after school. I'd just drop my books in the sand and I was in the water. Okay? So there's something that's very freeing for me like that. And I would live at 3,000 feet. And then when I needed to go to the beach, I would drop down, drive down to the beach, and I would go to the beach. And then I would be maybe an hour and a half or maybe 2.5 hours from San Juan. And when I needed to come into the city, I would get like a Toyota Sienna, and I would make it kind of like a camper, but with surf racks. So like if I wanted to come into San Juan, I'd come into San Juan, and maybe I'd go to a nightclub or something like that. And then I would sleep in my Toyota Sienna, and then I would drive back after coffee in the morning. But what I've noticed here too is like, and I'm looking forward to seeing this in Medellin, but it's not a cafe culture. It's not like people are. It's not an easy place to walk around. Let's put it that way. You know how like in the U.S. you can't block sidewalks? Well, this is the U.S. But everybody blocks sidewalks. No, it's not comfortable to walk around. I like to walk. I really do. I mean, I can walk. So when I walked that 10-mile round trip to the beach, that was on New Year's Day. Nobody was out. And I was like, I felt like I was the only person in the city. I don't know why. I don't know if there's some like moratorium on walking or cars or something like that, or everything's supposed to be closed on New Year's Day. I had a great day. And I took good pictures. I took great pictures, photos, graffiti, art, things like that. Just interesting stuff. Enjoyed that. But it was a very long walk. If I lived like on the strip that I'm talking about, and I had maybe rented a 1-bedroom condo or something, it would be about $750 a month, and I would get myself an e-bike, and I would go up and down with my e-bike, and I would go to the store with my e-bike, and I would just have an e-bike. I know exactly which kind of e-bike that I would have, but I'm really looking forward to, because so I just wanted to give you like a report. Some of the people here, it's really like anywhere, guys. Some people here are really friendly, others are not friendly at all. And you know, I can understand. It's like this is from what I understand. The Puerto Ricans have never had their own nation. It's always been somebody sitting on them. So I can understand a little bit of that gringo go home thing. But if you're a tourist here and you want to come in and you want to check it out, it's gorgeous. It really is gorgeous. And I haven't even been out into the country yet. You know, I haven't circumnavigated the island. I haven't been to the national forest. But I can tell you instinctually, after I'm done, you know, with 3 years or 2.5 years of traveling, I want to go spend 6 months in Tbilisi, Georgia. I want to go to Kiev, Ukraine. I want to go to Odessa. I want to go to Chiang Mai. I want to go to Buenos Aires. And I don't want to just go there. I want to go and live, you know? All the places I've been in my life, look, you can claim it. You can claim that you've lived there after 3 months. Between 2 and 3 months, you've got enough of a feeling of the culture and what's going on to go, yeah, okay, you know, okay. It's like you could drop me back into Tbilisi, Georgia, and I would know my way around. Maybe that's it. You know, one of the best ways to understand a culture, or try to understand a culture, is to teach the kids. So if I had spent 8 years in Prague and never taught, you know, high school aged kids English, my experience would not have been nearly as rich as it was. So that's something to continue to consider. If you like to travel, and I'm teaching the internet, I can't get the internet to work here. So that's one of the reasons I'm going to Medellin, because that's where I'm getting my money right now until I have, you know, SEO clients and better copywriting clients and find an employer and get my Google Analytics certifications and, you know, all of those things that I'm working on, which is a real pleasure. But at least I can teach English. So I'm looking forward to doing that. But it's a great way to understand a culture is by teaching the kids. So if you have any travel questions, or, you know, teaching English abroad questions, or even teaching English online questions or anything like that, I'll put my email address in the description below. I'll try and add some tags to this. I do have software like TubeBuddy that I pay for, but because I don't have functional internet right now, I can't build my description boxes for my 2 channels the way that I'd like to. But wham. So I just keep doing this, keep talking to you. There's a lot of real, I would definitely buy here. I'd buy a house here. I will buy a house here. That's what I will do. And if you're thinking about coming to check out Puerto Rico, come here, check it out. spend a bunch of money, infuse the economy, you know, um, and enjoy it. It's a special place, you know. And being that I was raised in Hawaii, I have a particular advantage in that, man, it feels that much more like home, like that much more where I'm supposed to be after I go travel a bunch more and live in a lot of other different places. Because I get off on that. I really enjoy it. It's one thing about travel, as they say, even if you have a horrendous trip, chances are you won't regret it. Okay, that's it for now. Have a great day. Bye.